Wonderful. Mm. So I think last night was the full cold moon. And one of the traditions, there's so many different ways to celebrate this amazing cycle, which is not only symbolic, but very physical, very physically altering for us human beings. And I would venture to say for the majority of life on this planet, the cycle of the moon. So there's many ways that we commemorate it. It also happens to be a really wonderful metaphor for our awareness in our lives, which is exactly what we're trying to cultivate here in our practice. So the constant waxing and waning, and we think that we are getting somewhere, and perhaps we are. We're getting at a greater awareness that our wisdom and awareness is actually coming and going. It's not even constant. So the moon has many lessons for us, and this is one of them. This practice that we're doing comes from a Thai tradition, a Thai Buddhist tradition, and there's nothing particularly religious about it. It's just one way to commemorate the cycle of the moon and this symbol of the full moon, which is a metaphor for our awareness and for our wisdom in all things, our wisdom in making one simple small decision with our blood sugars, wisdom in having the awareness to say something kind to somebody that we wouldn't have otherwise noticed, or greater wisdom, say the right words at the right time, understand where people are coming from, many kinds of wisdom. This full moon is one way to symbolize a bright, awakened wisdom. So, all of those flowery words aside, let's do a little practice. I'll take us through some different lengths of breath, and I'm not going to count it out for you. Encourage everybody to just find a length for each part that works for you. And the key here is just that the length should be comfortable always. So, one length of breath we could say is the longest length of breath, but it's the longest comfortable length of breath. So, if you notice that you're breathing and it's longer than is comfortable, or you're breathing and it's shorter than is comfortable, then you can bring it back within bounds a little bit. We want the breath to be comfortable. We want everyone to be comfortable breathing. Beyond that, the only other instruction I think is to breathe only the air that's necessary. You might feel the urge to breathe in more or less than is necessary, but breathe only what's necessary. If you please, sipping at the air through your nose. Okay. So, for those who aren't already getting yourself physically situated, if you feel ready, you can let your eyes come to rest. If not, you can glance around the room for a few moments and then let them come to rest. Let your face soften. Doesn't need to work so hard. Now, and just notice breath anywhere, in any way that it's currently showing up for you. You might notice air flowing in and out of your nostrils. You might notice air filling up your belly or chest. Just noticing air somewhere, noticing breath somewhere in some way. And checking in qualitatively. What's the length of your breath? Does it feel sharp or smooth? Where do you feel it? I take a moment and notice that when you breathe in, there's a space that fills up with air in your body. You can think of this as the body of breath. When you breathe out, there's a space that's vacated. You could think of this as the body of breath exiting. In this way, breathing in this body of breath, a form, and breathing it out so that it is no longer form. Let's start by finding the longest comfortable breath. Keyword being comfortable. And you can follow this breath as it comes in from the tip of your nose down through your nasal passages and throat and chest and lower diaphragm, belly. And as you exhale, goes back from your belly, diaphragm, upper chest, throat, nasal passages, and nose. Following the longest comfortable breath in this way. Trying to gently catch each little inch that the air passes over on its way to your lower belly. Even if this is just in your imagination. As you inhale, attach the numbers 1 through 9 to this breath. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And exhaling 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Over and over, counting up to 9 on the inhale and back down to 1 on the exhale. Breathing in comfortably at your own pace, not breathing in more air than you need. Not being so worried about thoughts as they come, just sticking with the numbers 1 through 9, 9 back through 1. Know where to get to. Shorten your breath now just a little bit. Still be a slightly long breath. And now counting up to 6 and back down from 6 to 1. Following the air to your chest or solar plex, and then back out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every breath this way. Shorten your breath a little bit more so that your breath is now a little bit shorter than your normal breath, but still plenty of air for you to breathe in. No rush. Now breathing in 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Following the air to the bottom of the throat and back out through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Making sure you have enough air, but also trusting the slightly quicker count. Trusting the shorter breath. Allowing the body to settle in this very simple process of counting the breath. The body can be relaxed. Just letting the mind be occupied with numbers. Change again now to the shortest comfortable breath. So still comfortable, but slightly shorter than what you were just doing. Now just counting in one, counting out one. One, 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 one. Making sure you have enough oxygen, not rushing your one count. And just following the air through the nose and back out of the nose. Now drop the numbers. Just follow the air in this short breath. In through the nose, out back through the nose. No numbers, just feeling the air move through the nose and move out of the nose. And it's okay if the numbers are a little sticky. That happens too. So picking a point underneath the nose, It's the first place that you can start to feel the breath when it's coming in. Just a little spot. One point of sensation around the mustache kind of area between the lip and the nose. And just put your attention there, noticing the way breath feels as it flows over and back on this spot. Still with a relatively short breath. Just one point, putting the mind on one little spot between the lip and the nose where air flows over. Not forgetting about that one little spot. Just putting your attention with your eyes closed in the space in front of you, dark space in front of you. Imagining that the moon is shining on you from right in front of you. And just stare forward into this imaginary moon. Breathing it in, still relatively short breaths. Sitting, imagining yourself basking in the moon in front of you. Nothing to do. Slightly increasing the length of your breath. Imagining just sipping on moonlight, basking in moonlight, bathing in moonlight. lengthening the breath even further. So it's a slightly longer breath than your normal breath. Continuing to just put your attention in the space in front of you, breathing in this moon that you're imagining in front of you, being cooled by the moon. Lengthening even further, so we're back to the longest comfortable breath. Longest comfortable breath, but still just resting with your attention right ahead, breathing in the qualities of the moon, imagining the moon in front of you, cooling you, basking you in its light. Now, with this longest breath still, returning to that one point between your nose and upper lip, and feeling the longest breath move over this one point, the longest comfortable breath, back and forth, back and forth. Now, just following this longest breath in from the tip of the nose all the way down to the bottom of the belly and back out. Just following the breath, no number. Finally, just as we did at the start, counting 1 through 9 and 9 back through 1, this longest breath. And feel free to drop any particular focus or modification of the breath. Just breathe normally. And taking a moment to wish well every person and every creature that rests or lives under this moon. Every creature that shares in the moon's light. Taking a moment to just wish all of these creatures well. Read from the poem Quietness, an excerpt from Rumi. Your way begins on the other side. Become the sky. Take an axe to the prison wall and escape. Walk out like someone suddenly born into color. Do this. You're covered with thick clouds. Your old life was a frantic running from silence. The speechless full moon comes out now. Do this now. Rumi. As you feel ready, feel free to close your practice in whatever way feels appropriate, perhaps beginning with some smaller movements, some deeper breaths. And I'll be, of course, welcome any share, but I'll be particularly curious to hear if people noticed any different things happening in different kinds of breathing and different kinds of focuses, and just generally what the practice was like today. It was a little bit of a long one.